躲开啦！干，他去死啊！想死就是要打架就是啊，为什么不让去？为什么？有人要买骨灰坛呢，我就说吧，我就告诉大家，我怎么说？来，好玩，来，好玩，走，来，好玩，最好。小麦早安。现在很嗨，现在很刺激，现在很刺激！哇！现场欢声雷动，等等，我待会再跟大家打招呼。哎，没了，好的，大家晚上好。大家晚上好。我们弄小声一点。完了，他是，哎呀，没有用。登场极高潮，真的，我跟你们说，就是因为我本来就是计算了一下时间，大概差不多想说大概8点会是就是一场比赛的开始，结果没想到他们就比较早，然后我刚刚就在考虑说要不要提早待机这样子，后来想想算了，这样也行。我们登场极高潮，对不对？登场就听魔耶在那边叫。计划赶不上变化，对啊，计划赶不上变化。现在还剩4队。这是第4场比赛。
So naturally, they're going to have the defense, they're going to have the cover, they can sit behind shields, and they should be able to make this a difficult rotation for Onyx.
With only 4 squads remaining, there's some space here for them to play, but they've got work to do. A listening is ready now with Onyx. Let's see how he plays out.
哦，好狠！
The other team's over here. I think that's the other full team. There's a solo or 2 duos in the game. Can you peek with Digi? They walled. Yeah, they're sitting behind that queue right now.
What's uncracked in the... I can zero and we can just fight them. You might need to. Yeah, you can, honestly. Yeah. If we break that fence. Nade. Hurry.
They're gonna
another nade.
Another nade batting.
换个位置，大家比较好看。
I swung in.
They're all one. They're like all. We get over here. I'm crushing. Yeah. I'm bang holding. So we have above. Steady on the. Keep coming. My bang hold.
I'm literally above.
I'm batting. On
my back, solo. Kill him.
好刺激！哇！
Onyx make their rotation and leave no witness. They fall to the hands of the ANZ powerhouse, and once again they forced their way into zone. A massive play from them.
Onyx have done so well to get around NC. Kick did join in. Kick did kind of grief NC very much, and now NorCal will be eliminated. So Kick, one of my favorites just from their position. It's now a straight 3 versus 3.
3v3. However, who's got abilities?
哇，炸烂！哇，没了！
Not without exchanging it over King.
哇！
Spray coming in for 203, and now it all falls on his shoulders. It's a 1v1 towards this endgame. Shady's got better shields, but barely any help to play with. Both are going to back up. There should be shield swaps available. We are in for an intense finish here.
He has smoke.
1对1吗？
You could argue he has the advantage, but of course Valkyrie can get the height as well. Everything in a 1v1, you've got to think about these micro decisions of where you're going to be positioning yourself.
We've also got to think about ammo situation. Should be enough here. We saw it yesterday.
还可以啦。
Try and stick this.
哇操！完了，他比人家慢了，哇！
Kick so clutch! And Onyx, you saw just the hands on the head, knowing
可惜
situation
了。
you think you can win.
哦，好
When it's
帅！
all said and done, Kick take the stage and they're gonna take the win.
为什么别人的猎兽都那么厉
Kick
害？
fire themselves up into 4th position.
别人的猎兽都跟全自动的一样，
They
好
were
扯
dominating
哦，
the
太
center
狠
of that
了。
zone. Their main threat was Norcal for so long, and they stayed apart. But as soon as they saw Norcal threatened, even remotely, they said, "Okay, this
好
is
精彩，
our
好
opportunity.
精
We
彩，
have
好
to
精
get
彩！
involved."
大家刚刚好赶上那个第4场的最后面，真的好厉害哦，真的心态超好的哎，
Went in that game, number 4, Storm Point
就是都不慌，
but it will be Kick
真
with the
的
win as we send it back down to the desk.
好屌。
Oh my gosh, what an insane endgame. And I feel like I keep saying that after every match, but can you imagine
听不懂，听不懂，听不
going
懂。
the other way when the Prowler just started firing?
爬上去被锁还能不懂？真的，我刚刚就心想说，哇塞，完蛋了！可是心态真的超好，他们心态真的都保持的超好。小小的跟没有在玩 Apex 的人的观众，小小的介绍一下。今天同步试听的是 ALGS 的败部复活，就是他们有分败者组跟胜者组，然后今天的赛制是这一场是打6场，然后前10名的，待会差不多3点，对，3点的时候，凌晨3点的时候，前10名的，就是这场败部复活的前10名的，还要再打1场这样子。然后11点的时候是胜者组的，然后明天就是决赛了，对，总共打4天还是5天吧，我忘记了，对，大概就这样。ALGS 就是 Apex 的职业联赛。如果说有在玩 Apex 的，应该会知道，就是百地就是台湾很有名的选手这样子。这次的台湾的选手是百地、国涛还有柏林，然后他们的队伍是 Dreamfire， 就是 DF。对，我不知道，因为这场我刚刚在设置那个直播的东西，所以我没有很认真的在看前面到底发生什么事情。但在我还没有直播之前，DF 好像是那个时候的第6名，但是现在不知道，要看待会的排名，要看待会的排名才知道。Highlight。
And beat Onyx in the end.
And I think that's a really valuable point that you just brought up, making those fights clean, right? Because you need to get the reset as quickly as possible as we go through a lot of the highlights that you just witnessed in match number 4, Rain Day, Leave No Witness, another
他们的猎兽为什么都那么像全自动的好羡慕哦！我也想要有这种全自动猎兽的感觉。他们猎兽跟鬼一样哎。
representing Argentina and Chile in their roster, I feel they have one chance.
好滋，好滋，好滋，好滋！
I think they'll go through, and that's all you need sometimes to kickstart the elements. But it's been difficult.
哇塞！我操！这是什么操作？刚刚这是什么操作？
Tournament. So
太狠了！
for them, they're gonna have to do a lot here. Looking at this though, Tiff-Vex, I'm starting to worry a little bit, and I don't know if you're feeling the same way, but they've got to step it up here in the last two games.
Yeah, it's really tough, and you witness kind of how they fight, right? You've got Matafe, the IGL, that kind of positions himself a little bit further away from Unlucky and Tyler FPS. They're the 2 controller fraggers that are kind of essentially closing the distance and going in the face, but
小朋友晚上好。
I mean, Genome, look, with the Peacekeeper back on the ground, people are still picking up that EVA 8, and if you close the distance, it fires fast. The worst thing that you can do is hit for 7, and how often are we seeing that today?
Yeah, too much, right? Especially when there's the knockdown shield.
这个水沟，那水沟这样子爬真的是很亏哎。
And the Eva really falls behind.
真的超屌的，超狠的。他真的这样爬上去，然后一开始先手就输人家，还可以不输，真的很厉害，真的超强，超狠。
You gotta throw the headset off and you gotta push the chair because it's clearly restricting the ultimate hype celebration that we could be seeing. So I think, got tripped up on the wire. Next time he's gonna be ready. Get the chair off, throw that off, and then pop off. Pound your chest like you deserve. True king there in South America.
I mean, look, I completely agree because the clutch factor there, the res, like you said, the moment you went to climb out of those trenches and pop your head, that is such a risky move when you think about it because you already.
我没有办法帮大家翻译哦，大家不要妄想我帮你们翻译哦，我只会讲一些干话而已。我没有办法跟大家说他们现在在聊什么天，在说什么，我没有办法，我只会说干话，我就是说哇，好强好强。对，刚刚那一组真的是抗压非常非常厉害，那个瓦基在爬上去的过程中还不慌，已经被先手打了几枪还不慌，还能够反杀，真的是奇迹 ，incredible magic。magic， 我觉得这几个词而已，我不会再更多了。我已经把我所学毕生所学的各种英文说出来了，我已经无法了。我只会这么多。我要看排名，给我看排名。这是什么？嘿嘿嘿嘿，好多分享，可以这样子哦，可以这样子分享哦。那我也要拍，我也要拍起来分享。1分钟，这是 P 上去了吗？这个符号 P 上去了吗？我真的好想要现场看哦！我也有一个很大的愿望，就是希望这辈子有一次机会可以现场去看到 ALGS。我觉得现场一定会更怎么说，那个气氛一定会更开心嘛，也不是更开心，就是会更激动。因为我曾经有去看过那个棒球，那你要扮成瓦基开大飞过去，现场 cosplay。我曾经有去看过一场棒球赛，然后当时就觉得那个氛围好棒哦，就现场看比赛的氛围真的很棒。
Monster Energy，
谢谢 Monster Energy， 记得寄发票我要寄发票过去了。
Welcome back, everybody, to the ALGS Split 1 playoff. So let me tell you, it seems like London's starting to wake up a little bit now.
Wow.
As they should, Dan, because we have 2 more games in this elimination bracket, round 1, to decide who the 10 teams are going to be moving forward in this tournament. But unfortunately, today, I'm just going to say we're going to send people home, but I'm going to blame you. You get to send people home.
Okay, yeah, I'll be the bad guy. That seems how it works. But honestly, 10 teams going home, it is going to be sad news, but it means we are going to start to get bigger and better lobbies. Teams that are playing at their very best at the top level, and suddenly these lobbies are going to get even more terrifying for those that are involved in. Still very hard to split, kind of 10th down. Anyone can still break into that top 10.
They really can. It is still so close. And as I tell you what, we've developed a few fan favorites in the crowd, I'm sure. And on this main stage, there is one.
好可爱哦，爱心，爱心。
the copper box, but let's talk about that previous game, right? Kick Esports, a huge clutch to come out with all of those points, and that has changed things up immensely. They jump up those leaderboards as we take a little look at Match 4's results.
Yeah, so the results come in. It was 10 kills for Kick in the end, a 22.
哇，他们10杀太狠了吧
to get them into elimination bracket round 2, right? But who knows? Crazy things have happened. Onyx in second place, not many kills, but they had an amazing rotation to avoid NorCal, and then NorCal, who were playing so defensively.
我要看总排名，我要看总排名，我要看总排名，我要看总排名，我要看总排名。不客气。
Even down the bottom of this placement ranking, who picked up some good points through KP. One of those teams who, once again, we talked about being on the bubble.
哇 ，Flora 好惨哦，第18名那个 Flora， 他们这几场的发挥都不太好耶。
And a total of 3 points in that game still leaves them outside of that top 10.
Yeah, they're in 14th at the moment, and they are 5 points off GHS. So now GHS have taken that 10th position, position that everyone is hoping to surpass or at least manage to find themselves sat in. Other than that, you've got Onyx who now push themselves into the top 10, Dreamfire in the top 10 as well as GO. So a lot of our APAC teams showing up, but most importantly, the South American teams that have, you know, arguably underperformed at times, that they all find themselves in this elimination bracket round 1, but now we see them getting those victories and trying to push themselves into the next round.
It's interesting how we set ourselves up now. After 4 games, we've had 3 on World's Edge, 1 on Storm Point. That zone on Storm Point, I think, had a big influence on things as well. Genome saying down on the desk, we were talking about it in the break. Having that open zone that's so difficult to play for the end game. You look at some of those teams that are down at the bottom, the likes of Pioneers, the likes of Oxygen, teams who historically, even though Pioneers have changed it up a little bit, like to play in that zone.
现场也太嗨了吧！
Game as well. Game plans are going to have to adjust here, and they're going to have to be flexible. We heard a lot of people talking about being
游戏嘛，总要有人输的。确实。
Some teams are still struggling to find that. There's no plan B in comparison to when plan A isn't working. And with 2 games remaining, I think some of those zone teams are going to be hoping that the zone actually.
我想要看总排名，怎么没有总排名？我想要看总排名。
There's a lot of different chances. I think everyone in the arena is trying to work out who their favorite player is, but
I can tell you.
The Matafi chants and the Vex chants are certainly ringing through, and they need it. They need the kind of boost at the moment because we haven't still seen Vex at their very best. Considering what we saw online, right? One of the best fragging teams that we had in the EMEA region have not found that form.
这是必胜头带吗？干嘛呢？好可爱哦！其实是只要盯着镜头，镜头就会来找他们。学会了，摩耶学会了。以后我如果有我之后再过个10年，如果我去打 ALGS， 我就狂盯着那个摄影机，他就会叫我了。
It means there's an opportunity, 2 more opportunities for them to find one of those magical games. But with games running out, online.
你的封面是不是又坏掉了？没有啊，我还特别看了，我在直播前还特别确认了一下。但最近有点怪怪，我知道 DC 的那个还是旧的，可是这个我确认过了，它是正常的，它是真的对的。
Will send you up that leaderboard so fast that you can already start thinking about the next round.
All right then, London, let's start making a little bit of noise in the room because Game 5 is live and it's time for us to get into the action.
不要幻想，有梦最美嘛，有梦最美，逐梦踏实。可是我 YT 看到还是昨天的，但是我有确认过，我有 double check 了，因为昨天的那个关系，所以我有 double check。
You don't have to change anything too drastically.
I love how we have completely different opinions because if you were on my team, you would be saying to me, "Get off of, you know, Bangalore Horizon Octane." let's just.
他最近一直卡 bug， 好烦哎。
We gotta kill everyone, Dan. We gotta kill everyone.
我要烦死了。
And I'm like, what? Now I have to play Octane. It's just gonna be a Rectane combo.
Well, let's see what happens in this game number 5. The players in the teams are starting to get out of the dropship. They're starting to find their POIs. And I'm so interested to see where this zone goes as well, Dan. Are we going to be going down south? Are we going to be northwest? Wherever we're going to be, I want to know if it's an open zone or if we're going to.
不行，我真的救不了他。但是我已经有用过了，我要发疯了。没办法，就这样吧，就这样吧，我不想管他了，就这样吧，就当我在打日马吧，就当我在打日马吧。10年上摩耶电竞选手养成计划，对啊，电竞选手养成计划，以后就是我了。
Yeah, you have to wonder, is it going to be an antenna zone? Are we going to go down to Gale Station, though? We have seen that zone that finishes just outside of the building south. of Gale
为
Station.
什么有人一直红红啊？
Information vital as always here, Dan. And just looking across, we've got one at checkpoint. That's a good place to be landed. You've got one at northbound. And if you're Vexed, you're going to have beacon information as
奇
well.
怪耶，这里是发生什么事情啊
Very happy. They've got beacon information at antennae. But Vex not only
？DF
have
那边是发生什么
they
事
have
了
the？ map to their back on this zone. They don't have to worry too much about teams rotating behind them. They can just look forward, and as long as they're aware.
萨摩耶10岁都儿孙满堂了吧？孩子都一堆了。
zone and maybe try and progress in this tournament because it's going to be very hard if the zone's coming towards you to then go out and find kills. But we have seen teams do it. Now, quick, Kick, our previous winners, they found themselves in the zone very early on. They were able to rotate and dominate the northeast side of the circle. They'll be looking to try and do a similar thing here.
倒了吧？没有，应该不是倒了，他看起来很好啊。 那是踩到岩浆还是怎么了？
Rotating through teams like Dreamfire, like GFR, IG.
哎，有人呢！你们打鸟打得很爽，旁边有人呢！我操！真的假的？哇塞！我发疯了哇！
Eliminate a team of their own, but smokes are down. Renetrick is put it down. It's going to be NC on the other side again. Norcal, leave no witness, are taking a fight against each other.
I was going to say, you could say it's going to be a slower lobby. Yeah, that's not the case. Renetricky now last alive.
你们真的假的啦？你们在演呢？
Esports, this is the benefit of having Newcastle.
哇塞！
On their feet.
Leave no witness, are going to have to try and run away, have to try and reassess. One player still remains.
哇！
But it looks like it's going to be a
被反打
dire
了。
game for LNW once more, and they have so much to do. They were down in the bottom half of the leaderboard. They were able to get into the final four last game, but only as a solo rat, so weren't picking up huge points because they didn't have much kills. But for Renetricky, it's about assessing the
这故事告诉我们
situation.
什么？
Try and get my team back up.
不要觉得人家看起来好像傻傻的，没有，那是他还没有凶起来，而凶起来会让你害怕。
A lot of teams starting to stack up, and one team who's just rotating on the southern side of things at the moment, over at Fish Farms, is going to be Gambare Otasanen. They look like it's a little bit quiet for them over here. A lot of teams in front of them that they're going to have to be aware of, but with that beacon information, you can see they're very deep in zone here, not just for zone number 1, Dan, but also for zone 2.
And it is crazy throughout kind of the regular season. We saw a lot of Newcastles, but here's Vexed, here's the aggression we were talking about, and it's IG on the other side of it.
Exhibit's going to go down. A lot of teams in the vicinity, though, got to be careful not to overextend. Trying to get away is the last player, but this is what I mean.
为什么被炸那么多次啊？
They
怎么那么多？
breaking out for Vex. They're inside of the armory, and I think they're wishing there was armor swaps on the floor for them to play with.
被炸烂呢！
Well, they close the doors and they
好聪明哦，很聪明。
back off. It was IG who were punished in that situation.
我就关在里面，我看你怎么进来。
Early rotate, and again,
大家都不要走。
talking about earlier, IG great on World's Edge, struggle a little bit on Storm Point.
儿孙满堂也没关系，台湾有不老电竞，60岁都能打咯，10年没有那种养成计划绝对可行。我会努力的，努力成为下一代的电竞选手。然后变成老阿姨的时候。
Charge rifle's going to tickle away at some more shields. 74 damage only needed here for Young He to get that Evo shield up to purple. And I tell you what,
哇，好滋哎，好爽哦！太舒服了吧？好滋一只只，好爽一只爽。
Antenna and the surrounding areas are also still within that circle, but it's not going to be landing on Antenna. We know that, the players know that, so they're going to be moving away from it and rotating through it. So we're going to see a heavy rotation down to the southeast side of the map for everyone here. There are some teams that are going to have an easier rotation than others. Gamewood could go all the way down on the eastern side if they would like to.
他们好猖狂哦！这就是强者的余韵吗？
From Passion, Oxygen think this is where the game is going to be ended. This is where we see a lot of games end. Here at Gale Station, Oxygen Esports trying to hold off the push, trying to hold down their god spot. Let's jump into the comms.
Okay. Taking too long. No one's taking angles. Yeah, they're close to us. They're gonna watch me. I'm across. On us. Me, bro.
哇，完蛋了！哇！
I wanted to take, but I mean, you kept getting.
好 可惜。
Game Oxygen Esports, just a sigh of disappointment there. They cannot hold down that God spot.
Yeah, more carbon dioxide than oxygen, it would seem. A big old yawn came through, and look at it. There is very animated discussion.
他们在吵架吗？
Because it is not looking pretty. They're down in
他们在吵架，吵起来，吵起来，吵起来。看这个动作是在吵架的动作。
For a big game in match number 6.
Pioneers playing the outside of this building. Little KCP chant starts echoing through the copper box here. They've certainly got their own support as well. You can see the coach trying to get them fired up as well. London responds in kind, as you would expect it to with this wonderful crowd. But
教练不要抖脚啦，很丑哎！你知不知道画面都在照你啊，丑死了！
everything that's going down around them influence how they play this game down, because now with the position they're in, it's a big opportunity for points.
A huge opportunity. Everyone who's found a home down here at Gale Station has an opportunity to win this game. They will know that. Of course, they'll know more based off next beacon information if they can get it, but a lot of these teams won't be able to get it. Just to update you on the 2 teams that are still outside of the circle, GHS and LNW. Now, Leave No Witness have been able to get back up to a full 3. Remember, they were a 1. It looked like it was all down. It was all over. They were going to be looking at match number 6, but if you're a fan of Leave No Witness, they are back.
Wow! We've got some famous people watching in the crowd as
你的饮料漏出来了。
Get the nerves out early, Rambo. We'll have those hands not be so shaky a little bit later when we see you on the main stage.
他是那个胜者组的，忘记他是什么队的选手那样子。
All of a sudden, KCP now have to try and do what Oxygen couldn't and hold off this push.
Got to hold on FC Destroy, and we know what FC Destroy and how good they can be with some of their aggressive pushes. But going into a Watson team, never really that fun. You have to have a plan of action. Who's going to be taking out the fences?
才不是呢，现在是学习时间好吗？现在是好学生模式。 学了我以后才能当职业选手。现在一切都是为了之后当职业选手啦。
I think FC Destroy may just back off away from this.
They're going to back off, but they're baiting out the exhibit as well from KCP. That means that Seer ultimate is not going to be available for the fight.
And it's good. They were assessing it. They were thinking about that plan of action, the 3 steps I was talking about, right? Gen fences. They got rid of the gen, but they realized the fences were in too much of a difficult position to actually push. Baited out the ultimate, and now they've been rewarded with a building of their own. They can be patient now.
When they're inside of the egg building, they will be cool, they will be calm, and they will be collected. One team who's also going to be feeling pretty good is Vexed. Vexed bang center of this zone. I'm pretty sure they're going to be playing the high ground as well, and watching all of the teams try and scarper into little corners under them. Big KP game potential as we move on to watch some crazy Raccoon. Now Raz gets an opener here on Horizon.
High advantage. Can you get the finish and get the KP? Not quite.
是不是有边掉？好像没有边
You've got to
掉
now
哎
not。put yourself in a position where you're vulnerable from all these teams who have eyes on you from other
摩耶
vantage
只要
points.
认真起
Crazy
来，
Raccoon
不可能都会
recognize
化
that
成可能。
will just slow you down a little bit. Because actually, even though they're not in the next circle, they could pick up a little bit of KP if there were teams to rotate late.
看
But
这
we
个不
know
太适
no
合，
one
他
really
们
is
墙
going
的
to be
基
coming
础
from
是
their
因为
west
口
side.
音你太软
Be
了，
aware as well, people.
我才没有，我枪很硬好不好？我枪超硬的，
Slide down on you at the last
我
second.
超强。
See, they're picking it frantically there. The nervousness, the panic that can ensue when you see a team, you hear that Valkyrie ultimate, you're thinking, where are they? Are we covering all angles that can be available for us to have a problem here? Parker's looking to push though. He knows they've done enough damage to maybe pick up
哇
some KP here.
真的假的？你们要这样硬干呢？你们是鬼吧？
Take behind you and then make your
哇
rotation
塞！
more difficult. Reclaim a building, take it off of
疯
someone.
狗哎！
Push it down. It's very difficult to find any sort of passageway at the moment, but CR have been able to survive for now.
It was going to be cancelled, but you can see it's still got a fair amount of shields to play with, so if they had to bring the guns back up and fire away at the team trying to push them, they'd be able to stabilize. They are inside of this building, but look, Dan, look at that map overhead. They know with beacon information, they need to keep pushing forward, they need to keep progressing and try and take Passion out.
Trouble is, the further you go into zone, the less buildings there seems to be. All the buildings that are have been taken. You can see Vexter in there, Geo are in there, GFR have also found a building. Onyx are holding kind of the mountainside as well as our NC. Those are the teams that kind of have the priority positions at the moment. Everyone else still has to get
百
in.
地是不是一直在被打？百地要倒了！
As this next ring closes.
We can see here, GFR losing a couple of players here, and it looks like Crazy Raccoon have also lost Parker. So it's going to be Urban from Passion here, doing a great job of holding off of this push, and they know how valuable this building is, Dan.
So valuable for now. Not as valuable a little bit later on, but you can pick up a lot of kills. So it depends how you see value, right? Is it getting KP? Is it getting extra points on the board? Or are you one of these teams who needs a big game? And if you are, you need to be thinking about a victory as well. Passion, a team who does need a big game. 18th place at the moment, and they're looking to try and push in as Godfire get eliminated.
Godfire out, Valkyrie to the sky.
Wow,
safe landing, or is it going to be a little bit more of a trepidation on the way down? Mania and Raz not looking too comfortable right now as they've lost Parker a few moments ago in that fight.
这样会比较不容易被打到吗？感觉好像会比较不容易被打到。他还要复活，哇塞，是鬼吧
Little do they know, GHS are actually in the area at Antenna, our latest rotating team, and could certainly punish CR. But we'll see if that happens later, because right now, Flora still making their way through. It's Flora, Leave No Witness, and Kick, three of our big teams who actually had a lot of an influence of the last game. They haven't found
他看起来脸色好差，他看起来快死了。你还好吗？你们还好吗？
Couple of teams trying to make sure that their rotation is clear towards where that zone is going to be. But even with this fight breaking out, Dan, the team who's going to be holding them out and gatekeeping them as they try and move towards zone, that's Game Ward. Game Ward are in a great position to wait for this fight to break out. And as the seconds tick down, Game Ward are going to be smiling because they can probably hear this fighting going on and they're just going to be waiting with great lines of sight on the rotation.
I mean, this is a huge fight when you look at the chances of either of these teams to actually progress in this tournament. Flora in 20th and Leave No Witness in 17th. If either of these teams was to go on and win this game, they would find themselves in the top 10. That's how close everything still is in the series standings here between all of these 20 squads. Remember, if you are just joining us, this is the elimination bracket round 1. 10 teams go home after 6 games. 10 teams go on to elimination bracket round 2.
Well, Flora have managed to take the ultimate height here. Which means that they might be able to pick off Leave No Witness as they are forced to leave by that zone. 35 seconds. It's going to seem like 5 seconds or so for them. And if they take a little bit of damage on the cross here, Renitricky's got to be very careful, but just remember, like you said, Leave No Witness at one point in this game, there was only one of them alive.
Crazy Raccoon, they've been thinking about this push for a long old time. Had to go back, had to get another member back, but now this is when they decide, okay, look, circle's closing in 8 seconds, we have to make a move, and we think most teams should have moved away by now, and they are right. But unfortunately, this building is still not quite enough. You have to go one further.
They got Parker back in the game, and Parker's probably thinking passion. You've got a target on your back. I want a little bit of revenge here. He's managed to get some weapons. He's managed to get some armor. And here comes Crazy Raccoon for round number 2 now. And it looks like they're going to be just as aggressive as they were before. But the Watson fences again are going to slow things down for them.
Watson fences in such an annoying position. They can't even get an angle to take them out. So instead, they take the roof. Smoke, though, is down. This is not an easy push whatsoever. And there are going to be other teams that could hear all of this commotion. So Crazy Raccoon need to make a decision. Which doorway are you going in, boys?
But the Watson fences are stopping everything here. And you can see they just don't have that decision made. Now they try and force it. But it all falls into and Crazy Raccoon cannot.
Passion hold on again, but KCP are in the building right next to them. So Passion, they need to reset, they need to make sure they stay alive. Gamewood eliminated, Leave No Witness also eliminated. Teams dropping like fries as we now go into the next circle. I meant flies, not fries. I'm hungry.
Well, one thing to point out about that battle, that was the battle that kind of started off over at Launchpad. That's been solved now as we now jump in to see what Kick are going to do. Kick, the winners of our previous game, making a late northern rotation and doing some good damage. Flora, you're done. You're dusted out of this lobby. Passion also eliminated. All of a sudden, the lobby has been cut in half.
I will say, all the meanwhile, Vexed are still looking pretty. I asked, are we going to get the aggressive Vexed? Are we going to get a zone-heavy Vexed? And Vexed have played zone, have found themselves in one of the best positions. When we see the map, you will see it, but for now, it's about it's this Newcastle. It's so good to be able to hold off teams, but also pick people up. If one of you go down as Pioneers, eventually get wiped.
GHS Professional, they are out of the lobby as well. We are down to
之
just
前有
8
跑步加
squads
表情
now.
的 bug 很
And
难
with
打
one
到
game
的。
remaining in the elimination
Oh,
bracket round 1,
是哦。
after this one on Storm Point is done and dusted, these 8 teams in this lobby will know better than anyone how big this 8 squads could be.
And as we look at the map, there are only 2 teams in this next circle, which is pretty terrifying for everyone else who has.
他们该不会还在里面吧？
Because 6 squads are
哇，
all
就是
gonna
不
have to
出
go at
来
the
嘞
same。time. They're all going to be checking different angles, but look at where Vex are. This is perfect for them. The only building in that.
哇，被反喷！哇哇！
Add 'em up, even with my bad maths. 100 is 200, and Kick absolutely wiped the floor with Dreamfire.
Kick send themselves to the top of this leaderboard. They are trying to dominate their way into elimination bracket round 2. Game number 5 is going well for them. Game number 4 was even better. Can they go back to back to really give them that momentum? There's still a lot to do from the position they find themselves in right now. They've got to go south, and they've got to get past 2 teams.
Very tough rotation for them to make, though. You can see they do have a Valkyrie, which they might think about trying to overtake the team in front of them. That's going to be Onyx inside of that zone. However, if they try and fight uphill, you feel like damage coming in from that charge rifle is going to be so important for them just to back some players down. But NorCal Esports, they're backing players down left, right, and center at the moment as they force their way into zone.
NC and FC are both pushing themselves in, but Vex are in that building. They have been there for so long as well, just holding it down, shooting out the windows, doing as much damage as they can. And Vex, they can just wait. They can sit pretty. They can be patient. They're in a solid position right now as they wait for where that next circle is going to be.
Exhibit's going to go down as well. That means they're going to get information on who is close. But Vex, inside of this armory, we saw them almost die a few moments ago. We've always said, what's the secret for Vex to have success? It's knowing when to disengage as well as engage. They did it so well in those early moments. And this is the result. They're bang center in zone, and now they can push. And now they can
Right, are there other teams in the area as now Matafi tries to fire with a Mastiff? Need help, but this is happening again. They can just back off. They can take the cover, and the circle's pulling back towards them.
Haven't broken shields either. 2 of them still able to push out, able to control the space. NorCal Esports eliminated from the lobby. We are down to our final 3. And you've got Onyx.
Vex are still outside of the top 10. This is still a game they have to win. They only have 2 kills, so it is not a huge points total for them yet. But remember,
现场整个燃起来，我天哪！
In a fantastic spot. And the opportunity to make the hometown crowd just make a little bit more noise. And to do that, we're going to see this game through. If Vex can win it, we're going to hear all of the comms.
Can we maybe try to take this here? Go up?
No, we should play from here. We should play from here. We just sandwich them next one.
Wait, oh my god.
This armor is 32 per red on this box here.
I'm dropping an armor.
Just you can play roof probably.
I am going roof. We can play tap good shit.
Yeah. So they're pushing.
They're pushing.
We should walk up left a little bit.
I'm
playing slow.
Zero.
Yeah, we should walk up, but wait for dogs. Wait for dogs.
Yeah. I'm still wrapping far left.
I'm around this rock. I'm gonna see this in a second.
Wait,
yes,
no, I'm still far left.
One of them is flash, knock, one of them.
Yeah, play slow. Just control just control everything.
Watch out, you might want to go armor here.
Yeah,
just don't let them go right. Yeah, just don't let them go right.
They're on the back fence there.
I'm gonna go to this rock.
Yeah, we should go back. No, I think we play slow.
Yeah, I'm in front of me. Yeah, in front of me.
I'm trying to out from them. Yeah,
I have one guy that's gonna swing from the right.
Whoa!
Scanning it.
完了，
I do cut the rising.
完了，
They stopped it all.
完了，
I got good arc on it.
完了！
They're pushing the other guy.
I'm pushing on.
Go for kills. All in.
哇！哇！
Let's fuck.
哇，天哪，现场沸腾哎！
Vex get the win. And London applauds. They're on their feet. That's the game they were desperate for. Dan.
那个头带是。
Finally managed to find that victory. They finally returned to that online form, and it started with patience, rotating early. A big fight.
现场的观众也太多了，这个粉丝也太多了吧！
Circle kept coming towards them, but it was about picking your fights at the right time in those final moments. Great to hear the communication in those final stages as well.
Standing calm, standing collected.
他们好开心的感觉哦。
But it doesn't look like that is the case. They close out that end game, and let me tell you, I don't think London's been much louder. That segment is definitely making some noise up there, Dan.
I mean, it was Team Burger back at Championships, but it seems like the Matafe crew is very much leading the charge in terms of celebrations here today in London.
Amazing stuff there, Dan. Absolute pleasure to cast game number 5. We've got one more to come, but before we get there, it's time to hear from everyone on the desk.
Thank you so much, Mark and Dan.
Thank you so much.
For you guys, are you feeling vexed? I know everyone was waiting for that moment. No.
谢谢。
Gino, we always
如果是我支持的队伍得了冠军的话，我一定也会很开心。可是也太巧了吧，不是冠军啦，就赢了的话，然后他们在赛前的时候才刚好就是拍到这群人，然后又拍到刚刚那个队伍，然后他们就赢了。现在是拍到谁的支持者就会赢吗？好精彩哦！可是刚刚那一波好可惜哎，刚刚也不是可惜，就是 DF 他们那个被一个满喷一锅端了，可惜，好可惜呀！就差一点点。
Interesting moment during that final circle. Anytime it comes down to 3 squads, I kind of try to look
好像
and
第
see
5
how are
场
you going
嘞
to pivot the other 2
我
teams
找找
against
看
you.
能
We
不
saw
能找
Gombre
到他们
taking
现在
that
的
other
分
fight.
数。
Talk to me about that moment where they had the player down to the last moment and decided to pull away.
Yeah, I think it's great, you know, because you're thinking not just of what's happening now, you have to think about what's going to happen in the future, and that's what Gombre had a really nice consolidation of where are we going to play the end of this. The unfortunate part, even though they were getting that Newcastle res and Vex got the first knock, was that Onyx also decided to grief on the other side of Gombre Tucson, and that helped Vex. But sometimes a team with this many fans, with this type of storyline, needing a little bit of something, needs that luck to push through, and that was kind of the lucky moment that ended up happening and turning things back.
30万美金是多少？几百万对不对？100万。好像是100万吧。
Let's go ahead and look through some of the highlights from that game. This is going to be from start to finish. Leave no witness on your screen. Man, I just really love watching these Storm Point games, Gino.
Yeah, there was a lot of action up the north side to start this one, wasn't there? We were talking about how Newcastle is performing in these lobbies.
Yeah.
You know, we saw the res coming out there early, being able to utilize that, not have your teammates get down too quickly. And it seems to be effective in this lobby, but you know, there's a reason they're in the elimination bracket right now, and that's because when we go up against these top teams, they seem to be a little bit more decisive, be able to put a little bit more pressure on you, and that res doesn't come in as handy. They just seem to be able to deal with Newcastle a little bit better, and I think that's why it hasn't been thriving so much in this LAN environment.
I like actually Newcastle a lot. I think this is a character that can have success at the highest of levels. We've seen teams do it, even at Chance with 100 Thieves. But really looking at the way NorCal esports are playing, despite it not working to get them here, I think it's been working so well for their placement style. A team that's in that top 20 in the winners we'll see soon, Pulverex, they have the exact same style. They just need to get top 5, and it can work to get you into finals. The thing is, can NorCal somehow turn on the heat to get kills in those last moments? We have not seen that yet.
900万 那么多
I think
900万
space is a big deal in how you control that though, Rain, and that's a big difference between some of the teams playing the Watson compositions and the Newcastle compositions, because they're trying to achieve the same thing, but they do it in a very different way, and Watson's a little bit more flexible in how much space she can take with you with those perimeter fences, as well as the great utility, of course, of the interception pylon.
Yeah, especially in those endgame scenarios, controlling that space is great, but your match 5 results on the screen, Vexed Gaming 18 total points, but what's really important here is Onyx and Gombre are rounding out that top 3, but there's no shortage of points right there. 15, 14, and then even NorCal, 13 total points.
Yeah, the story here is the comeback of Vex, the dream run that they're hoping to make it into winners with the support they have today. It's also the great performances from some of our APAC North teams like Gombre, Otusan, and of course, it's also looking at the journey of the South American teams, Kick, and you've got NorCal Esports trying to make it into this ultimate winners bracket, which would be, again, an emotional thing. We'll see if that can continue with only a couple points left.
Of course, KCP looking really strong there. Had a lot of eliminations as well as Passion with 6 kills for 7 total points in 11. But a lot of these teams that are going to be here on the second page need to step it up. And there's only one more game to do so. So it's a little interesting that IG International down there in 19th. Granted, it is just one game, but this is coming down to the wire. So let's look at the series results, because I want to take a look not only at the people in the lead, but the bubble teams. But NorCal Esports right now at the very top, 43 points. Kick with 42. It is entirely so close when you look at 1st through 5th, Genome.
Yeah, it's really close up the top. You know, those teams probably feeling solid about going through. We really need to keep our eyes on, say, 6th, 7th downwards towards maybe 14th. I feel like if you're Horizon Union at below, it's looking quite grim right now. But everyone else there in the high 20s or low 30s, I think they've all got a chance here to make it through. you know what they need? One big game.
Pioneers still not qualifying. They're going home if it stays like this.
Oh man, this is gonna be really
They need
tough. Let me just tell you, they are gonna need something, but you know what? They're gonna need a really solid game 6. So let's go ahead and send it up to Mark and Dan. Take us through it.
Woo, let's get into
有没有兴趣开一局自定义游戏和观众？可是如果我观众数量不多的话，打就不好玩了，就没有什么意义啊。不是没有什么意义，就是怎么说？如果说只有好，我们取个中间值，也许就12个人玩。那地图那么大，只有4组而已，那得找多久？对啊，至少要30个人啊，所以我就觉得还好，就是可以跟观众一起打，就一起打，然后打别人这样子，这样应该就可以了。才能开局哦，是的，30个人才能开局，3v3，这又不是打 LOL，ARAN 对不起 ，Apex 不行吧 ？Apex 好像不行。
And we were thinking, okay, well, are they going to be out of the shadow of Dark Zero? Is this now going to be their opportunity? Well, they need to break through. They need to make sure they have a good game. It doesn't have to be an amazing game by all rights, but it needs to be good enough just to overtake the likes of Dreamfire and Godfire.
Let's keep an eye on some of the teams who are just inside of it as well. You've got the likes of
Match 6 3v3 那等等有个大佬来一打全，这打全部。
We're sending 10 teams home, and Mark's told me it's my fault, so they're all going to be sending letters later on, but right now, we need to make sure we send 10 teams through. Few of them have already made it. Let's be honest, mathematically, there are teams that guaranteed themselves through. They can play spoiler. They can ruin the day of a lot of these teams that are down in the lower half of this leaderboard. It's all going to be down to where this circle goes, who's going to rotate through who can gatekeep who. I can't wait for match number 6 to get underway.
Well, here we go then, London. It's time for us to get into the action. The question that was always at the forefront of our mind as we see this map jump up is where are we going? Where is that end game going to be? Where is that circle going to pull? And I'm sure that every single team who is sat on that bubble thinking about maybe staying here and playing some more Apex Legends or having to take the trip home is hoping it pulls towards them.
Genuinely, your tournament life will depend on where this circle goes.
死到不能死。
Maybe slightly west. It could end up in Cascade Falls as well, right where Dreamfire are. Remember, Dreamfire are that bubble team. They're in 10th position. Now, Tau can go get Beacon. There are teams in the vicinity that could also fight for that Beacon. And I will say there are teams right on the edge that have plenty of Beacon information as well. And if you are an edge team, if you do get Beacon information, you have to make a decision fast. Are we trying to compete with the early rotators, or are we going to be picking fights?
This is going to be a very, very interesting finish. And I've got to say, Dan, both my heart and my head are both saying I hope we finish over at Cascade Falls because we see some wild finishes, and it would be appropriate that we have a wild finish to this game.
Finish 啊！
What Vex came into doing
好紧张啊！
as you would expect, but what a time to perform. I mentioned it was almost as if I could see into the future. I was a clairvoyant, Dan. I was like, Vex need a big game. Wouldn't surprise me if it was now. All of a sudden, Vex have that game, but they are still not safe. It is so tight between that kind of 6th position and downwards.
Yeah, they're already 7 points clear of Pioneers in 11th. Like, it's very possible they could still drop out if they were to have a dreadful game. If they were to finish in 20th position, it would allow other teams to kind of pick them apart and maybe overtake them in the leaderboards. But if they can just have an okay game, we should see them progress. That victory is massive for them. I think this circle is probably going to be heading a little further north than some teams may expect if they are just very much focusing, honing in on Cascade Falls. Kick, who land up on Wall, may stay up at the north side, over towards Wall. And we know, on Storm Point, when you're trying to traverse the map, there's a lot of mountains to climb. You have to constantly go up. And if you're on the northern side, it's difficult.
This could be one that pulls just down towards the choke as well, between Checkpoint and the Wall as well. The effort in a great position in that building, which has the beacon, but that is the building of death, as we know on Storm Point. So many teams rotate into each other. They kind of cross paths, and You can see it exactly on your screen right now. There's not a lot of room to play with, and a lot of teams try and take that position. It's very difficult to hold down. There's a lot of different windows. You have the ramps that go up, the stairways, and it's kind of prone to nades. And if you haven't got an interception pylon on your Watson to really deal with them, you can have some problems. But this is the spot I was talking about. Pioneers being able to hold down this choke. If they can move up just a little bit more and maybe influence this fight, hold down this position, and they could be in for a very, very strong game here. But it's a tough place to hold. Loads of places you can be rotated from.
Well, it's Dreamfire on the other side. This is 10th versus 11th, staring at each other with heartbeat sensors right now. And I will say that KCP have to be careful because they're the ones who don't have the building to retreat to. They've only got a few rocks to hide behind. But it looks like Dreamfire, of course, are not going to send it. We talked about nervy moments in match number 4, Mark. It's going to be even worse here in match number 6. Teams are going to be more tentative. They are going to be more reluctant to push. Instead, they're going to be passive. They're going to wait. They're going to hope circles come to them. They're going to hope kills come to them. But sometimes you have to take some risks.
Well, Pioneers obviously rotated as quickly as they physically could. They got pretty good armors, to be honest with you, after the quick rotation. But if you're looking across gun attachments, etc.,
他们有没有推啊？我感觉不敢推耶，毕竟第一圈而已，好像也没有推的必要。
The shotgun you would go for. A lot of players obviously prefer that Peacekeeper and maybe even the Eva 8 over the Mastiff, but Horizon Union now, they're going to be inside of one of the buildings that's going to be safe for quite some time, taking their time to set up, and like I mentioned,
对啊，会怕出事。
为
为什么这里打起来了？这里发生什么事情的？哇塞，完了，完了，完了，被盗背了，被盗背了，我这没了，哇！ 还有另外一种。
Over for Pioneers if they do not manage to reset. It's Onic in the area. Zerdal trying to get the res. One has
他们不推别人，别人会推他们。
make themselves big.
哦，好惨哦！
This completely changes things now for Pioneers. Completely and utterly changes things. It's a great spot if you're a three-man team, but down to 2, holding a good spot, people are going to see that. You're going to get that CQ coming in to give that information, and they could be under duress. But here comes Flora coming in from the Eva 8.
It's Ironblood Gaming on the other side. They've already lost 2. This could be it for Ironblood. Remember, they were outside of top 10. We've already seen one team eliminated. It could be it now for them as well. But Flora, they want to chase this. Remember, Flora, 20th position. They need every point possible.
Well, player K, he's going to be looking to the heavens at the moment, hoping that he can do something miraculous, hoping for some divine intervention maybe to keep their tournament hopes alive. But for now, he is alive. That's step 1.
是不是有另外一组
as well.
啊？
He's going to be able to send the drone out. Maybe collect those banners. Maybe this isn't quite done yet for them.
Could be a huge play in Ironblood Gaming.
他是在马氏，他可以
To
救。
lose members as well. It's Crazy Raccoon who push in and get the advantage and will get the kills.
But the brilliant thing here for KCP, they can walk past this. They can go and get a respawn. They can get Pandas back into this game while all of this fight is going down. Pioneers just slipping by in the night and going, don't mind us.
现场观众的声音大到他们赛评都收得到，也太屌了吧！现场观众是得叫多大声呢？
Number 1 place in the leaderboards. They're going to be fine. They have plenty of points. They can sit back, kick their feet up, and wait for the next round.
Pioneers trying a little bit of a different route here. You can see them right at the top of your screen right now, going past Northpad, moving slightly quicker than everyone else. Of course, on that Trident. And if they can get a res in, they can get Pandas back into the game and get him some loot, then Pioneer's story is not over yet. But looking at the rest of the overhead on the map, they had to give out that position, and it was Onic with that third party that have caused this decision to be made.
I mean, there's only, what, like 5 teams who haven't made it into that next circle, where you can see on the right-hand side, over on the east by Stormcatcher, Vexed and Geo, they are very close to one another.
Vexed and Geo having a little bit of a tussle. You can see some shots being exchanged on that map overhead, and great job from the observers to make sure that we catch that action. A big moment here for Vex. KP and a win in this team fight would give them those extra points to maybe start thinking we could be safe.
Honestly, if they can pick up 3 points here, you'd imagine it should be safe, right? You should be good enough, but it's got to be a victory. You've got to make sure you hit your shots here. Jed goes down first. That's very important.
Well, looks like Metafe's going to swing as well. Tyler's trying to help him out a little bit, but this is a nervy fight. This is a slow fight. Start to hit a little bit harder here from the 301.
And this is a more important for Vex than it is for Geo. Vex, though, they're still on that bubble, and they are still thinking about getting aggressive here, but maybe they just need to be thinking about should they back off as Ironblood Gaming. They are done. They will not be getting through, they are out of this competition.
And look at the kill feed now, going back to that fight we were talking about. It's a 2v2 situation. Unlucky trying to move on Dogma here. Young Heat down to barely any health, but he gets the battery off. And now Vex, who seemed to get that first knock in the fight, all of a sudden this is looking a little bit more nervy.
And Unlucky's in such a difficult position. Got to avoid the arc star, but now Matafi has one of his own. Does get the stick. It was on a downed opponent already, and now utilize this damage. Make sure you're pushing your attack.
Here, Vex, have you got the ice you need to keep your tournament alive? The arc star's going to go. Unlucky has his shields broken as well. Damage being done. It's all up to you. Gio has to go huge. He gets one. It's a 1v1 behind the goal.
And Vex will have to watch on as Gio also get eliminated. As Vex are okay for now. They will have to see what happens elsewhere. Eliminated from match number 6, but still in the tournament as it stands. As Oxygen are the final team to swoop in and pick up the pieces here. Who are going to need a mammoth game if they were to be able to progress in this tournament.
Two teams are closest to Vex Gaming. 33 points, as we say. They are still good for now, but it's so tight. It's going to be right down to the wire for them if they do go home. But Pioneers, you saw, they've managed to get Pandas back in. They're back up to a 3-man stack. GHS Professional doing a little bit of a jiggle, a little bit of a dance. Seen you do that before, Dan Gaskin. Trying to force their way into the wall.
So I will say, Vex are now going to be watching on, hoping that teams within the top 10 are picking up the points here, are not allowing the teams in the bottom 10. Because if you look at who's behind Vex, Pioneers and Dreamfire very close, right? Both of those could overtake. But GHS, they're about 8 points behind. 8 points isn't easy to come by, right? You need to either be finishing in the top 3 or you need to have a big kill game. Speaking of Pioneers, things aren't going well after they managed to get back up to a full 3. They're down to 2 once more.
Oh, this is a tough game here for Pioneers. A tough game, but they are in 10th at the moment. Survivability is everything. Just keep the game alive. Pandas just back into the game. Dell also still alive, and it looks like they will have to tank some zone damage. The question is, do they have the meds to do so? Will they be able to wrap in that storm and get somewhere else? If they do go the way of Checkpoint, by the way, that is completely free for them to make a rotation in. However, obviously they won't have that information. They don't have a map overhead in front of them like we do.
So as an update on where that circle's going, it's going to be northeast of the previous circle you had seen before. So the teams who had committed kind of on the eastern side of Wall are still going to be okay and be able to hold out those teams who are trying to move from the south. It's going to be very tough for those teams that are trying to fight uphill, but as long as you've got a plan, as long as you've got a Valkyrie, there's always going to be a chance.
Crazy Raccoon involved in a fight themselves at the moment. You can see the exhibit has gone down. Raz not quite connecting with the car in the way that he would want to. From that range, always difficult to do so. Parker going to back up for now. Takes that gravitational lift up just to get the angles that are required to keep his teammates alive. A little bit better spray coming in from him with the flatline. But not enough again to do the damage they need to instigate this fight.
Already seen such big eliminations from this tournament. Ironblood Gaming, the #1 Apex South team, done and dusted. Can Crazy Raccoon keep their dreams alive? It's a long way. Even though they're in 14th, there is a lot of points between them and 10th right now. It would have to be, you know, kind of victory. Is KCP, well...
这样子复活是可以的吗？这样复活是可以的吗？
Back into the fray, and it is
哇
back to the
塞！
drawing board for the Pioneers. Where do they go, though? I mean, they have to tank so much ring damage here.
Well, they can craft. That's a good thing. Get some med kits. They can at least take the time and survive. I don't know. It's almost become like a laughing joke, right? About the elimination bracket, KCP. They find, but this is like you're making it too hard at this point. Like you're really playing this on legendary mode.
Crazy Raccoon is still having this battle, which has been going on for quite a long time now, and they've got to try and force their way into zone
85
eventually.
度 C 的蛋糕好吃吗？好吃啊，我觉得很好吃。我很喜欢。
Look at this GHS8. Those knocks are great. Now we're going to push, but I think one player just completely ran past one of the players from Kick. Singularity out, leave no witness out as well. Peacekeeper starting to hit some nice notes as well. as GHS Professional trying to clean up this damage, but disengage smartly as well after picking up some KP.
Leave no witness, they went out, which means they're out of the competition. FC Destroy go out as well, as Crazy Raccoon elsewhere are getting kills. GHS also involved in that fight, need to stay alive. And remember, Crazy Raccoon, they have to get kills here, and KCP want to take advantage.
They have to take advantage because one player is down at the moment, and now down with the flatline. He gets
Crazy Raccoon eliminated, done, out of the tournament, but KCP, they fight on. They get more kills. They overtake Vexed Gaming, which puts Vexed in the firing line. Vexed are now in 10th. They'll be hoping that Dreamfire gets eliminated.
真的吗？不会烫的吗？你现在是在跟我说冷笑话吗？
We'll still be seeing them in the next round.
请问你现在是在跟我说冷笑话吗？我怕我误会你的意思。如果是的话，你会在我的聊天室消失。我确保性的问一下，是不是？
Yeah, GHS, they're another big threat, right? It's Dreamfire, it's GHS. They're our two biggest focuses to really try and ruin Vexed Day, to ruin the Vexed fans' day, as Vexed have to watch on.
Interesting thing about to happen here, I was about to say, Pioneers are going to wait for that zone to close in and hit that Valkyrie. Onyx are going to hear this as well. And Onyx are the team who are kind of gatekeeping them. Now take yourselves back to the start of the game. Who was the team that caused Pioneers problems when they hit that rotate? It was Onyx. Now Pioneers, if they can overtake them, might have another chance of revenge.
Pioneers look more comfortable.
They fake it out. They fake out the Valkyrie ult. They're trying to make Onyx give up that space. The question is, have Onyx bit? No, they have not bitten. And now we go back to the fight we saw at the start of this game.
Yeah, this is going to be so difficult now for KCP to try and get a reset because Onyx have a lot of utility, a lot of abilities to use, and the zone is coming behind them. So now you've got to choose your moment. You're going to have to get aggressive here, KCP.
这地方到底是怎样？疯狂被推！哇塞，你们怎么的？哇！哎呀！
And they will have to watch on and hope they can hold on.
Pioneers are in a good spot though. They're in 9th. Onyx, #1 now in the leaderboards, but it looks like they're going to get third-partied. Elsewhere, Passion were eliminated, but it's Dreamfire. They're the team kills. This is bad news for Vex Gaming.
Dreamfire shooting down on all of the bodies around them and taking advantage of the carnage that ensues to give themselves an opportunity, a chance. Keeping their tournament alive here. I mean, imagine being sat watching, spectating the game right now, knowing your game is over, just hoping that someone else lets themselves down.
Well, I mean, Dreamfire and Vex, they're tied at the moment, 33-33. It would come down to a tiebreaker. So Dreamfire, they just need one more point to eliminate Vex Gaming from this competition.
And that puts more weight on this fight that's about to go down right now. Dreamfire versus Oxygen. If you're a fan of Vex, you want Dreamfire to fall. Oxygen are winning the fight here. Oxygen are winning the fight. They're taking them all down.
8 squads remaining. Dreamfire. Disgusting things as a 2. Roy, who's had the heart of so many fans in this audience, looks to try and maybe spoil for a lot of the other fans in this audience.
Here come Onyx. Here come Onyx. They've heard this fight. There's the Bloodhound scan as well. Oxygen are out of here. Oxygen don't want any of this. They don't want to be third-partied. And now DF have to worry maybe about a wrap coming in behind them. Onyx trying to use that mobile respawn beacon to get the ducking and surviving.
Just about survives, but zone's about to come in. It's a massive moment for Dreamfire, a massive moment for this tournament as a whole. Vex still on the bubble, but Dreamfire, if they secured one of those kills, they will surpass Vex. And with 7 squads left, we might see Vex eliminated.
Oxygen trying to force their way in towards zone here. A tough rotate for them to
怎么一直有人啦？
The hunt is going to be popped as well. They're going to
他们撤了是不是？
some of these members here from game 1. Decent damage being done here by Hill and Co, but are they able to get these knocks?
Good shots. We need a huge game from Oxygen. We saw the pep talk happening after their disappointing game. Gamewood, they're going down. At the moment, though, the kill leaders, Oxygen, are on a tear, trying to give themselves that opportunity to get into the next round, and they will secure. Gamewood are eliminated.
Now look at this man on your screen right now. Enemy is leading the lobby. He's got 8 kills himself at the moment. He's going off.
Dreamfire at 34. Vexed are out. Vexed are done. Dreamfire
Oxygen survive! Dreamfire go down! Enemy with a hip fire from the Prowler.
我发疯了。
But it might not be the smartest of pushes right now. They're taking some damage, but so is enemy trying to face him up. He says,
Oxygen doing their best to stay alive in this tournament. They cannot afford to go down because they are outside of the top 10. It's done. It's a valiant effort, but it is not enough. Oxygen out of this tournament. Now we look at Pioneers, now we look at Dreamfire. They're the two teams who are on the bubble.
Also, let's think about another team who's still alive here. That's IG International. IG
请
International
问
made
主
themselves
播
safe
会讲
with
解
this
他们
performance
厉害
as
在
well.
哪
So one of the
吗？
hometown teams, they're going to be continuing their tournament. GHS Professional though,
不
we've
会
seen them on the northern side of the wall for so long now. Just
只会一直听到我尖叫而已。
vault in front of them, but now they're going to have to make a little bit of a
这里
move.
只会一直听到我尖叫而已，只会一直说好厉害，好厉害！我是无情的好厉害机器。
So Pioneers should be good. They're in 9th, they're on 35. Dreamfire, they're in 10th on 34. So it's GHS. They are 4 points behind Dreamfire. They will be the team to try and
安姐晚上好，后知后觉，我的反射回来太强了吧？安姐晚上好。
Their best effort. As you mentioned, IG, they're good. They've done enough to secure it. It's all about GHS here.
GHS, all about them. One thing I will highlight here. Teams who are inside of the wall, early rotate teams, you can see with the amount of teams that have been fighting outside the zone, haven't been able to level up those Evo shields. It's blues, it's purples, great. But look at GHS, 2 purples and a red. They might be able to take a 3v3 engagement, but at the moment they're under so much duress, they found somewhere to play, and they've managed to get those bats off too.
GHS, they just need to push themselves into that top 3. All the other teams in this top 4, they're into the next round. They're in the top 10. They're fine. It's all about GHS right now. Onyx, they can play spoilers though. They can do some big damage because there is a Kraber in the situation here that can certainly change things.
Oh,
哇，
GHS,
被烧烂！
not just burning,
哇
not just burning in game,
哇
the dreams are starting to explode as well a little bit. They're surviving, but only just. They're tanking so much damage at the moment, but tanking damage is fine as long as you can survive.
Well, Dreamfire have been watching on, hoping that the knocks happen, and they are happening. GHS though, quick
这
to get the
是
rest.
什么
IG now
轰
jumping
炸
out to Onyx.
场？
So this is going to allow this rest to come in. They have time to reset here.
Just got to avoid the
哇，完蛋了！哇！
in the shreds. They want to be able to give themselves as much points, but GHS, they've lost 2.
They've lost 2.
他还可以，他还可以。
The knockdown shield and a prayer. Maybe that's going to be enough for them, but it's going to have to be so tight. He's looking for the armor swap. Instead, he's got the banner. Can he survive? No, GHS around. We're down to our top 3.
Dreamfire fans will be in the heavens as now in our top 3. It's about who can win this game,
杀
who can
疯
get
了！
momentum going into the next round. IG, one. Nita fighters are 2 here. Onyx
好哦
Esports
好哦
eliminated. I think it's a 3
嫌我
versus
太
2.
吵就
Could be a
赶
3
紧关
versus
小。
2, and they can get this res off. That'll be absolutely huge. It's going to be a 3v3 situation. Godfire don't take the advantage there of the fight breaking out. They hold the ground. They want to let the zone do the work for them. Force IG in.
他们的这个站位也太那个了吧！
Weaponry, by the way, there was a completely naked alternator in play at this stage.
Maybe not the best weapons to work with, but you've got the calls and you're back up to a full 3. You can take your time. You can assess how you want to play this one because I think IG know Godfire are reluctant to push here. Godfire seem a little bit nervous, maybe for no good reason. They are comfortable in 4th place right now. Here we go.
It's a straight 3v3.
来了！哇！
There is that alternator. It's doing work, but is it enough? It's all up to Grateful now. 1v2. It's going to be a tough job for him to make it work, and Godfire will win it. Game number 6 is done and dusted. Round 1 of the elimination bracket is over.
炸的真好，
What a journey it was, Dan, but now we
刚
have
刚
to
那一
find
波
out
炸
who
的
is
真好
progressing。and who will go home.
Well, the teams that were very worried going into those final moments, it was Dreamfire, it was Pioneers, but Pioneers hold on. They finish in 9th. Dreamfire finish in 10th, and Vexed Gaming eliminated in 11th position. GHS could not do enough. They stay in 12th. So we will know our 10th.
所以 DF 有进吗？
So tight between Pioneers, between Dreamfire, between Vexed. It's so tough for Vexed. They go out on
他们的那个有进去吗？刚好第10，哦，太好了，太好了！百蒂刚刚那一波真的好厉害，太帅了！
In our final matchup of the elimination bracket round 1 and quite possibly one of the most heartbreaking series as we are sending home our first 10 teams, Genome.
Yeah, we're gonna start to have those moments now.
好的，
You could say, I mean, look, honestly, I was
败部复活的第一组大概就是到这边，然后待会好像11点的时候是胜者组的，就是对，就是胜者组的会比，然后3点的时候这个败部复活的这10组还会再比一次，就是一个车轮战。就是一个车轮战的概念，但是还好，那个他们有活下来，太好了，好哎，太好了，他们活下来了。Flora 真的，他们。怎么说呢？总觉得他们今天状态不好，他们今天状态超级不好的，好可惜哦。我蛮喜欢他们的时候，感觉他们很疯，最喜欢这种疯狗人。Highlight， 了 Highlight， 该给我看看白帝的神操作了吧。
Saw they're in 11th place at the time. If they had have gone down, they would have been out for sure. They'll just get back in. They have to go out and res themselves twice over at Northpad to get back into this game. And they fought Onyx to start with, and then Onyx again, who knocked them out on the way to their top of this elimination bracket round.
It's really tough. Then you see Vex going down right there. But like real kicker here, and I know I brought it up a little bit earlier, Oxygen Esports been rather lackluster throughout group stages, coming into this game in 20th place. And Crook and Enemy alongside the IGL Hill completely start decimating this lobby. And if you remember in Split 1 Pro League, they were a primarily zone-heavy team, breaking out Hill on the Watson, and they just went full aggressive status. And we were just kind of sitting there hoping, would it be enough? And Rain Day,
it wasn't. And you know, I hate to say it. I mean, kind of letting the realism of what it means to hoist this trophy here on Sunday, it's not always going to go your way. And I was impressed with teams like Dreamfire. I was impressed with KCP. I was impressed with teams who did not have everything going in their favor and found a way to make it, even if it's by a point. And that to me is a quality that is going to determine who ends up winning this thing. But there's a lot of intricacies to these fights, and I also have to say a bigger picture story is South America. 4 of the 5 teams in this entire tournament have qualified here into the second elimination bracket. That is a big, big positive for them.
I was really shocked seeing the majority of South America having to fight it out in the elimination bracket round 1 and to come out on top and start your momentum moving forward to get to tomorrow Sunday. That is clearly where
刚那一波真的炸得很好，真的很厉害。恭喜！如果有兴趣的人，觉得好像很嗨，就算你没有在玩，但是觉得好像很嗨，好像可以看一下的话，11点的时候可以再看，11点的时候可以再看。那个最近我还踢的那个即时的那个数不，感觉好像不是很准，因为我这边有另外一个程式，就是跟它上面显示好像不是一样，对啊。看起来，很精彩耶！我现在很喜欢看比赛，不管是什么比赛都是，就算我没有玩的游戏，我也会看，因为我觉得很好看。他有时候会秀抖的，就是很奇怪。他有时候真的会秀抖的，因为我有另外一个，因为就是大家现在看到那个聊天室嘛，下面那个聊天室，它这边也会有显示的人数，然后我这边的这个，甚至是就是每次都会比它快，它显示的人数都会比它快。
you are gonna have a plan and it's not gonna work.
好看的前提是有人一起看，自己看也可以很开心啊。我自己看都会觉得很开心，自己看就是一种，怎么说呢？就是光听到他们那个后面的那些欢呼声，都会觉得很开心，就一起享受那个氛围，就会觉得很快乐。既然都看人家玩了，对不对？那自己当然也要玩一下啊。自己当然也要嗨一下的嘛，是不是？为什么我？哦对，不是这个啊。
So the mental, like it feels like just a mental game pretty much. The mental was going down a little bit. We were a little depressed about group stages.
我会有点无聊，我不会耶，我很喜欢，我很喜欢，很喜欢那个，很喜欢自己看，因为我觉得很好看。
Because those team shooting us in the back, we thought we were gonna die. Me and Del were just silent.
为什么没有
？Silence for like 10 seconds straight.
你要出来了没
？Okay, and then we got the banner.
为什么？
We couldn't go that way. Then all of a sudden, okay, go north side.
为什么跑不出来？哭啊！哭啊！我的 iPad， 我的 iPad 跑去哪里了？我习惯盯着，然后不说话，反应不大，但心灵澎湃。我是不是没把他的声音关掉？对，我没把他声音关掉。他现在是在那个采访的环节。可是我会很激动就算只有我自己，我也会很激动因为我就会觉得很不知道，就会想要叫出来，就想要把那个感觉、那个气氛叫出来，感觉才有那种参与感。看了感觉自己可以了，但打后魂没了，确实。可是就像阿伟说的，阿伟教我的万年不变的道理。就是当你觉得自己好像很烂的时候，只要看几场比赛，或是看很厉害的人打几场就可以了，你就会变得很强。确实，看了都觉得自己好像很厉害，但其实根本没有，压根就没有。奇怪，为什么跑不出来？我要哭咯。为什么他跑不出来？等我一下哦。反正我还有40分钟，还有40分钟，是怎样啊？这样有了没？这样还是没有，为什么？你到底怎么了，iPad？出来！出来！我要花红了，我真的要花红了。What are you doing？ 等我一下下哦，我看一下。啊，有了，终于有了。咕噜哇！ 什么会有得了？怎么了？为什么会有得了？谁在得了？好哦，应该没什么问题吧？关掉，不要得了。看完打满了鸡血，看看我厉不厉害？可以的吧？小事的吧？一定是小事的啦！小小的，顺便小小的，宣传一下，明天，诶，等我一下，为什么这么快就开始了？真的，我还没准备好哎，算了，反正就这样吧，应该就是这样。好了，准备好了。明天 FF40我们有摊哦，在O47跟O48，然后这次有卖那个 Border Life 全员的迷你胸针，有限量5组，只有5组而已。还有那个我们的听笔签名，明天，还有我的小吊饰，明天在 FF40的O47跟O48。为什么？为什么他们都断线了？是怎样？为什么他们都断线？我现在是要单干的意思吗？谢谢哦，我真的是谢谢。我好卡，等一下好卡。正常了吗？不，他超不正常，他超级不正常，我要发疯了，我真的要发疯了！救命，不要这样子，拜托不要这样子，正常吗？你可以正常一点吗？是 DDoS 吗？我觉得我还是去死好了。这样听起来好像情绪勒索，但是我觉得我还是去死好了。哇塞，超级卡卡烂哎！好了，我来去死了。哇，我连我招都放不出来！哇塞！哎，不，我。我好痛苦啊！我好痛苦啊！我要发疯了！等一下，我重开。他们是知道有 DDoS， 所以才提前先关掉吗？我严重怀疑他们是知道有 DDoS 哦。他们是不是提前？应该是硬底出问题，刚刚连的人物都有点卡。可是我是一开，应该不是，对，应该不是。出来！他现在甚至连出都不出欸。他现在甚至连出都不出欸。哦，我的天哪！哦，有了！ 计划伺服器了，发疯。
Nothing like cold steel on a hot day. See your imperfections in your enemies, then crush them.
DDoS 大军，完了 ！DDoS 大军啊！拜托不要来！晚上好，又要没了吗？不要这样子，让我玩游戏，拜托，让我玩游戏。让我玩游戏，好像还行。我如果躲到桌子底下，好像就还行哎。太多人了吧？完了，没事，我不会死，我超强，我不会死。不，我超卡！不！
Wings out. Off the mic. I'm spotted. Up in the chimney. Dragging an enemy. I'm down. Need a medic. On my mark. Fire.
我要发疯！算了，看来我们是不适合，今天不适合打 A 配，对，今天不是个适合打 A 配的日子，放弃吧，莫耶，你还是放弃好了，你还是放弃吧，今天不是个打 A 配的日子，算了，有的时候我们就是要认命，既然不行，那就算了，那就不要打，那就算了。见好就收，见好就收。那大家看我就好了，好吧？我们就这样聊聊天聊到9点半了。不行，我要10点才能下班，不可以偷懒，10点才能下班。那我们就这样聊天聊到10点吧。又转杂谈，对，我们直接又转杂谈。直接又转杂谈，鬼转啊！我先放个 BGM， 我来鬼转一下。啊，好的，我们鬼转杂谈。可以找一个叫《飞跃13号房》的游戏吗？怎么了吗？我知道那个游戏啊，怎么了？我知道那个游戏，我有看，不是有看，就是我有，之前好像有，忘记是什么，好像我有看到预告，我有看到那个游戏的预告。等我一下下哦。看摩耶头脑发热，50多好像，什么意思？什么意思？你说那个游戏50多块钱吗？我只有看那个预告，那个听说好像还蛮复杂的，我记得。 不要紧张，我在设置东西，稍等我一下下，等一下就回来了。马币哦，对啊，我知道。我之前有看到那个叫什么预告，它预告感觉很不错哎，蛮喜欢的。但我应该会看看吧，看看情况，看要不要玩。这好像还在待机一样，好好笑哦。哎呦，我回来了。刚刚打 Apex 组到一男一女，一直聊，跳伞把队长转给我，就一直聊到一个地方找不到人打。女的说都遇不到人，男的就说因为他们都被你赶跑了。整场聊被打死，我立刻就跳。这是什么精神攻击？太惨了吧！打游戏还要被精神攻击，帮 QQ 好可怜啊！我只是想要打游戏而已。天哪，好惨！可是 PUBG 好像年中吗？是年中吗？我记得好像是年中，我有看到消息，年中好像就要关掉了。他们官方的说法是说那个叫什么因为游戏内容不达预期吗？我忘记了。他之前刚出的时候，我有下载来玩，然后因为我有玩 PUBG 嘛，就是有玩蛮长一段时间的。他们是同一个厂商做出来的东西，所以手感其实蛮像的。只是多了一些技能之类，但我不确定是不是我手机的问题。但我手机其实算蛮好的了。我每次打，就是他只要有那个叫什么，每个角色的那个技能打出来之后，我手机就会整个当掉，整个画面超乱。尤其是帮家，我下帮家大的时候，哇塞，那个叫一个惨。就超卡烂。我现在只要听到有开麦，心里就凉。9成一直骂跟干话，1成就是这种有妹子就哈哈哈。确实我以前因为其实如果是说是自己单排的话，我很少会开麦，除非是队友可能就是那种开着麦，他们可能是。朋友一起打，然后有开麦的那种，我多多少少这样子才会讲话。可是不知道为什么，就是只要女生开麦讲话，然后就会开始一直聊。但其实玩手游的女生很多，就是相对来说，女生比较常玩手游。我身边其实有很多女生朋友 ，Apex 我不知道啊，但他们的 PUBG 也是都超强。就是女生好像特别，应该说比较擅长玩手游吧，对，相对来说会比较擅长玩手游。很多女生玩那个什么，那个叫什么传说对决，玩传说对决也超强的，可是传说对决我真的不行。我好像有跟大家分享过，就是我曾经就是玩传说对决，然后被骂爆，然后我就很难过，我就再也不玩传说对决了。需要电竞手机，是还好啦。 我不知道为什么，就是玩 iPad 的时候就是会这样子，手游的时候，但其他都还蛮正常的。最常听到的就是我保护你哦，对啊，有理有气的。我通常我以前玩 PUBG 的时候，然后只要听到男生说就是不要怕，妹子我保护你，然后我就会回他我说不需要，我可以靠我自己。无情拒绝，活该，摩耶活该你单身，再直啊，你再那么直啊，活该，你活该。但是有的时候真的会，会遇到一些蛮好笑的啦，因为我是属于那种就是如果讲话很好笑、很幽默的，我就会怎么说呢？就是会比较好聊这样子。我应该算是蛮好聊的，我自己觉得我应该算是蛮好聊的。所以在上面，我在 PUBG 上面也认识了蛮多好朋友的，现在都还在联络。即便我已经没有玩那个游戏了，现在还是有在联络。男生该学一下说，那你保护我。男生应该学一下，就是说只要我说了没关系，我会保护我自己，然后就反客为主说好，那你保护我。奇怪。不是在玩 FPS 游戏吗？不是在玩大逃杀游戏吗？怎么变成交友软体了呢？莫名其妙。聊天俱全，对啊，我也这样觉得。我是聊天俱全。我其实是后来比较没有在，就是我很宅嘛，我很少出门，但是我以前其实是还蛮社交爆弹的。这个音乐是怎样？这个音乐是这个音乐啊！我以前其实还蛮社交爆弹的，因为我的社交能量会超级满的那种。可是现在就，还好。要社交还是可以社交，但就是没有到像以前那样子这么自来熟。我现在都是等别人来跟我熟。我不会再去主动的去找别人熟了，都是别人来找我熟这样子，我觉得 OK， 我可以，但我不会自己主动去找别人。可是我那个就是在 KTV 里面的时候，在 KTV 然后看到大家都不嗨，然后我就还是会不由自主的想要带动大家的气氛，到现在都还是，即便我已经没有那么社交爆弹了，还是一样。我是累了，很懒得参加活动了。哦，原来是这样子。对啦，有些人到了某一个年纪吗？也不是年纪，就是到了某一个阶段之后，就不太喜欢再出去社交之类的。这个 B 圈应该是要接刚刚摩耶说我自己可以。你聊天跟烤焦的牛排一样，什么意思？什么是烤焦的牛排？什么叫我聊天跟烤焦的牛排一样？这是什么意思？这是什么形容词？超会搭。为什么你还可以？为什么你还可以讲话？哦，你是在我 ban 掉你的前一刻讲话是不是？哦，好的。啊，可是他说对不起了欸。他说对不起了。我要怎么解 ban 呢？YT 好像不能解 ban 对不对？我记得 YT 不能解 ban。暂时停用使用者的权限，这就是整个 ban 掉了嘛？它这就是变不见嘛？ 没有我没办法帮你解Ben来不及了，你太晚了，你现在应该在听我说话吧？来不及了，5分钟，请你慢慢的等5分钟。你应该要看懂，你应该要看懂的你还有另外一个地方是不是？你应该要看懂我的表情的。当你讲完那句话，我眯起眼睛微眯的那一瞬间，你应该就要看懂，就要马上打出来了。哎，可恶，你错过那个时机点，手速不够快，手速不够快，没有我快。我刚本来还想说要不要就是帮你倒数计时的，但我后来想一想，不对，你应该有自知之明的。所以我已经在心里默数了，可是你还是来不及，哎，太可惜了。我也喝个水水。我最近常常会，我其实也没有感冒，然后因为我前几天。出去吃饭，然后有一个朋友就是后来回家之后发现自己确诊，然后我就开始有了确诊病，好像现在的人都蛮多会有这个症状，我就开始有确诊病，就各种觉得，我的喉咙好痒哦，我怎么一直咳嗽，我怎么一直清痰，就各种确诊病，各种自以为自己确诊的病。但其实根本就没有，我已经就是快筛了5天了，然后其实我超好的，我根本就超好，然后就自己觉得，我是不是确诊的？根本就没有，根本就超级健康。可是最近又一直觉得我一直在清痰，然后就心想说怎么办？我是不是有病？我是不是有病？我得了一种觉得自己有病的病。什么绕口令？我得了一种觉得自己有病的病。每次都出门，我现在真的超级勤劳的在清洁，不是清洁，应该说超级勤劳的在管理自己会在的一个空间。因为如果我不得已一定要出门，比方说我要出去采买一些食物啊之类的，或是我要出去拿外送，我甚至连出去拿外送我都会疯狂的，就是出去的时候喷1次酒精，回来的时候喷1次酒精，然后我走过的每个地方我也要大喷特喷，各种喷，就很害怕。虽然我觉得这样子有点亡羊补牢的感觉，但还是就是觉得会有一个心理的安全感嘛，对，应该是说心里会有个安全感，会觉得还好，我至少我有做到这个步骤。看到这画面，我是不是又正常发挥了？还没啦。虽然说已经跟标题不符了，但还没，我还是会坚持10点才下班的，不会加班，但也不会提早下班。两位晚上好，好久不见。对，虽然说我有时候可能会迟到，但是我最近都没有迟到吧？你们有发现吗？你们有发现我都没有迟到了吗？怎么都没有人称赞我？你们有发现我最近都没有迟到没？我现在超乖的我现在都很准时我也好棒棒，谢谢。怎么觉得虽然是我叫大家称赞我了，但总觉得有一点敷衍的感觉，应该是我的错觉吧？应该是我的错觉吧？我也好可爱。我是求大家称赞，我是求大家称赞我说我很准时。哪有敷衍？是我都没好好看什么。我刚刚应该没有情绪勒索吧？应该是没有吧？我发现就是 有的时候真的会在不知不觉的情况下情绪勒索欸。就算我自己超级讨厌别人情绪勒索我，但我也会有时候就是会突然脑袋一惊，就讲出某一件事情的时候，突然脑袋一惊，然后发现自己好像刚刚情绪勒索了。摩耶准时的好可，准时的好可爱是什么啦？好吧，谢谢你的称赞，准时的好可爱，我也是可以接受的，我可以接受。谢谢你努力挤出了一些词汇来称赞我，好感动哦！感谢你的用心，这份用心我会好好收藏的。为什么？应该是我的错觉吧？对，应该是我的错觉。总觉得有一点点卡卡的，应该没有了，刚刚才有。电脑要爆掉了，摩耶的电脑要爆掉了。我刚刚那个声音好像柴可哦，我怎么会发出柴可那种臭灵呆的声音？我要自我厌恶了。我怎么会发出柴可那种臭灵呆的声音？不知不觉的情勒很常发生。对啊，感觉不知不觉的情勒会很常发生欸。就是在你没有意识的情况下去情勒别人，虽然说自己很讨厌，但总是会在不知不觉的情况下，不小心就变成了情勒的那一方，被影响了，真的被影响，天然勒，这可以叫做天然勒吗？所以我们自己发明了一个词。自己发明了一个叫做天然勒的词，就是以后在不知不觉的情况下，发现自己情勒的时候，就可以说对不起，我不是有意要情勒你的，我是没有意识的，这个不叫情勒，这个叫天然勒。情勒小怪兽，我才没有情勒嘞，我只是无理取闹女友而已，好不好？这句话也是情勒吧？控制不了怎么有办法？对啊，我就控制不了啊，不能怪我吧？而且我才没有，我没有情勒过你们，好不好？我明明就没有情勒过你们，我只有开启无理取闹女友模式，常常开启无理取闹女友模式，那个不叫情勒吧？那个还好吧，还行吧，还可以接受吧。那是我们之间打情骂俏的一部分，不是吗？大家应该没有感觉不舒服吧？如果你们感觉不舒服的话，跟我说，我不会改。嘿嘿嘿嘿。摩耶这只贱狗，可以告诉我。笑死！直接贴起来。明天，哦对，再说一次，剩最后这是什么东西？不要得了，吵死了。明天是元宵节，我想要，其实我不太喜欢吃汤圆，可是每次有节日的时候，心里都会想说，我是不是应该要顺应着节日干点什么？比方说中秋节的时候，大家不是会烤肉嘛，然后就会觉得是不是应该要顺应着不是潮流，顺应着习俗烤个肉一下，但又觉得好懒。可是我又很讨元宵，不就是汤圆吗？元宵就是汤圆，汤圆就是元宵，它们就是一样的东西。我不喜欢吃一坨面团的东西，我觉得很恶心。可是生来颠覆，元宵节吃粽子，元宵节吃粽子，中秋节烤元宵。我超讨厌吃面疙瘩，面疙瘩根本就是恶魔的食物，救命啊！好，再宣传一次，明天的 FF40在欧47跟欧48。 我们有摆摊，然后这次才可有做那个我们全员的迷你胸针，然后只有限量5组而已。还有我们的亲笔签名的拍立得，是亲笔签名哦，真的是亲笔签名，真的是亲签。还有香香的亲签。然后大家不要欺负小精灵哦，小精灵很可爱，不要欺负小精灵，不然才可会发疯哦。谁敢欺负小精灵才可会发疯哦。香香的过去，大家有去吗？听说这次排超夸张的，可以叫小精灵吗？不可以，请不要对小精灵做出请不要对小精灵提出任何不合理的要求。小精灵很辛苦的帮我们顾摊子，请大家不要对他们提出不合理的要求，不然我揍死你们哟！我应该是不会去啦，对，本来其实我有打算要去的，可是我应该有跟大家说过，我也非常非常讨厌排队。我这几天看到那个新闻，就各种夜排，然后各种排队人潮，我就觉得算了，我还是不要去好了。我还是待在家就好了，就麻烦小精灵了，有烦小精灵了，谢谢小精灵。明天应该不太会排，东西很多都卖完哦。手袋是好像第二天都会比较少，对不对？应该第二天都会比较少，因为 CWT 这次的 CWT 我听有摆摊的其他的朋友们说，第二天都会比较少。第二天好像都会少一点点，但应该也不会像昨天那么夸张。听说昨天有夜排的，直接在那边搭帐篷，救命啊！都不用睡觉，太狠了吧？因为这次有 Holo Life 的关系嘛，应该是吧？可是那个不是上次不是就有了吗？今天有到场，但没进去太多人。哦，我也会这样子直接在花博摇曳露营。可是我也会，而且我通常我也都是第二天去。我有一次，就是上次是 FF 吗？花博是 FF， 对，那应该是 FF。就是我第一次跟安姐出去吃饭的时候，我们就是先约去 FF， 然后是第一天。结果我们两个到现场之后，看到那个人潮，看到外面一堆人，然后我们两个就互相看了对方一眼，然后心领神会，就是我们还是不要进去好了。我们就在旁边绕了一圈，然后就去吃饭了。我们都是同样的，就觉得算了，不要去人挤人好了。为什么要去人挤人呢？我们在外面开开心心的吃饭，不是很好吗？所以后来我们就直接走了。但我自己通常都是第二天的时候去，而且我都是偏快要收的时候，就是快要下午的时间，最后一批的时候进去，不然那边人真的太多了。对，我是黄昏狗狗，而且因为人太多，我都会觉得呼吸不过来，所以就对，还是不要进去好了。我有自知之明，还是不要进去比较好。然后，对，趁现在预告一下好了。如果有机会的，明天没事，然后也就是想要出去走走，想要去逛逛的话，真的非常非常建议大家去买。对，只有限量5组而已，不买吗？限量5组买烂好不好？这可能是最后一次机会咯。这到底是 O 还是0啊？因为其实我没有问柴可，这应该是 O 吧？ 我怕我讲错，应该是 O 吧？通常都是用英文字来带前面吧？应该是 O 吧？是 O 对不对？O。谢谢 LA， 对，应该是 O 没错。英文跟假音比，对啊，仅此一次秀完不再假音，对啊，仅此一次秀完不再假音，大家一定要把握机会哦，真的，这可能是最后的机会了，讲的好像要毕业了一样，仅此一次秀完不补哦，我自己都超想买的。我要偷偷叫才可留几个给我，然后你们就没有5组了，只有3组，哈哈，全部都被我买完了，自己自卖自买，老王卖夸，自卖自夸，是这样念吗？是，只是我超龄呆，完蛋！我真的觉得我跟才可相处久，我越来越超龄呆，我不想要这样子。我好害怕自己有一天就是跟他们相处久了之后，然后我也会开始讲冷笑话。我不想要变成这样，我不想要变成我自己特别讨厌的那个样子。然后岩上被抹黑涉入抢货，这样子被岩上也太惨了吧！没机会上北部、中部的动漫展有机会摆摊吗？如果有报上的话，对，主要是以北部啦。但其实我们就是有任何可以摆摊的机会的话，都会去报一下，对。但这个也是都是要给，没那么容易可以抽到。其实我们这次报了之后才了解到说，其实这些动漫展啊，不管是 FF 还是 CWT 都不好，对，不好抽，真的，那个几率没有那么大。但如果有机会的话，我们都会尽量，如果可以摆的话，都会去摆。对，有机会的话，我也希望可以到中部去。好啦，现在时间10点，感谢大家今天的陪伴。在最后宣传一次，明天。FF 的O47、O48，我们会在那边摆摊，有我们的亲笔签名拍立得，还有摩耶的小教室，还有胸章，真的是，如果真的看我们很久，然后喜欢的话，也不是，这不是情绪勒索，赶快先起手势，这不是情绪勒索，就是。因为我们很难得会出周边什么之类的，毕竟你们也知道，摩耶就是非常的懒，所以就是建议大家真的可以入手，而且那个胸章上面的图是才可地画，超可爱。哦不，要下班，对啊，10点了，我上不去哭，没关系，有机会的。如果之后有机会的话，我们看看能不能去。中南部也摆看，对啊，如果有机会的话。然后，明天的事明天再说吧。祝大家今晚有个好梦，谢谢大家今天的陪伴。那我们今天直播到这边结束喽，大家晚安，拜拜。